One of the things you and I have talked about is the human part of this. So you started a big deal on LinkedIn. A bunch of people jumped in on the conversation, but you made the point that most breaches at the 90% level start with the human. Something is happening. The person's, made a mistake. So why aren't 90% of the conference's content focused on the human?
Do I believe that 90% of the conferences should have 90% of the content be focused on securing the human? I don't.
Yes.
But it blows my mind that asset number one, which is you and me, if we work for an organization, tends to not get the level of attention commensurate to the risk. And this is true in all the frameworks too, right? What's the first thing that you do in most of the frameworks is you inventory your systems, you
Mhm.
inventory your applications, but you don't see training education inventorying your people and the risk that they present to your organization until it's closer to the bottom. I put that out there mainly to start a conversation to say, how can we ensure that area isn't overlooked? Because it is true, 90+% of significant breaches
Yeah.
start with breaking a human first. And the bad guys know this. That's why they're successful.
They've been incredibly good at it. Again, I go back to 2024, calling the help desk and getting
Uh,
passwords reset and getting MFA devices re-registered and all of the things that they've done to manipulate the person in the system to get
mm.
access to the system, not pounding away on the technology and figuring out how to break it.
Yeah, and I think there's an opportunity for all of cyber to update their training education. A lot of us are required to take quarterly trainings, and those quarterly trainings, as we've seen this so many
Ah,
times, and it's how quick can I click this through without getting in trouble? Or maybe it's not necessarily repetitive content. Maybe it's the way that we're wording things. Like the average employee probably doesn't even understand the term social engineering.
mhm.
So if you blast your content filled with these technical terms, it's just going to go right over them. But when you can break it down into this is how a help desk call that goes wrong could impact the service that you provide, now you got their attention. And I'm actually a fan and proponent of not just measuring training and education. That seems very checkboxy.
Mhm.
What I want to do is measure behavior change. I want to see what good behaviors people are doing more of or should be doing more of, and what bad behaviors they're doing less of. That to me is a far more effective way of actually measuring progress.